Hey, good Monday evening to you. How absolutely are you? It's good to see everybody. It's good to be seen by everybody. Who am I to say all these wonderful things? I am the Dungeon Delver, also known as Bill Sylvie, your guide to the stars, insofar as the stars are classic role-playing games. I hope everyone had a swell weekend. Mine was hectic as all get out. Could have been better, but there we are. Anyway, so have you guys heard of this micro blogging platform, Twitter? I decided to start using it recently. Seems to have caught on with a few people. Is it twitter.org, or is it like a domain name then /HTML/Twitter? I don't know. You guys might want to check it out. You might have to look it up on Alta Vista or Ask Jeeves to find out where it's at. Or if you've got a copy of the Internet Yellow Pages sitting around, the most recent copy, maybe you bought one at Walden Books when you were in the mall going to Musicland. You stopped by the Walden Books and picked up a copy. Maybe it's listed in there. I don't know. But anyway, so I was poking around, having some fun on that in the wee hours, the wee small ones, and I noticed once again there was a brouhaha. I don't know who these people are. I don't care who these people are. I just thought it was funny, and we're all about funny here. We love to share our jokes with each other. Am I right? Of course I'm right. Anyway, some, I don't know, soi-disant gaming stream website announced that they would no longer be having a live stream D&D game where the campaign was Asian themed, set in a fantastic feudal Japan, because I couldn't follow their logic, but basically it boiled down to we're white people and we can't do that. And I didn't really I don't follow them, and I don't recommend you follow them. And if you're going to watch somebody play D&D online, watch our streams on Tuesday night, which are returning this week. But it just struck me really odd. Because if that's the way you feel, then what you do to rectify that is you say, no, this is only going to be a northern, middle, central European themed fantasy setting is their apparent solution. So you're not gonna try and celebrate these cultures. I'm reminded of a few years ago. There was a woman and her friends. She and her bridesmaids wore traditional Chinese dresses out on I said bridesmaids. No, it was prom. And they were attacked from all sides on Twitter. I don't mean from like people on one side of the spectrum and people on the other side of the spectrum politically. They were all from one but they surrounded them and attacked them. And so a couple, and this was well before things kind of turned dark, so they went to them, they went on the streets of China and they showed some pictures and they asked just folks on the street in various Chinese towns and city, what do you think about this? what do you think about these as prom dresses in the United States? Universally, it was, hey, that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. That's really cool. It's really nice to see that. And then there was a situation at around the same time at the MoMA in New York. They were celebrating Japanese culture at the MoMA, and you could go, and as part of like a working exhibit, women could be fitted temporarily. They didn't get to keep them or anything, but they could go through the whole process of putting on a kimono. And again, and this was someone who wasn't Asian, started up the tornado sirens on Twitter and said, you can't do that. We don't permit that. Stop it. And the people who were doing this thing, or maybe it was it was the people who were putting this on were like, well, we're Japanese and we're okay with this. Specifically, the woman who was fitting the other women, like, we're okay with this. And the response from the non-Japanese outrage machine about this was, well, we're not okay with it. So they spoke over these people and made it stop. So once again, the idiot platform that is Twitter, the blind idiot god Twittertoth at the center of the universe, surrounded by the piping of idiotic flutes, lashed out with one of its pseudopodia, and the net result is that that there was a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth. To which, again, I say, so if I then retreat, if I then pull my game back into my experience view, then it's just Northern Central European fantasy myths from about the year 800 to about the year 1400. And then I exclude everything. How is that better? How does that make things better? There's a word for that. It starts with an R and it ends with acism. And I'm not going to engage in that, and I'm not going to do that. So it is of good tidings that tonight, it is good tidings and good coincidence that tonight's dive into deities and demigods is into the Japanese mythos. Cultural and religious mythos of Japan. So we're going to take a look at that tonight. We're going to jump right into it. So let us do that then. Let me just open this up. When we were playing Gamble World on Friday, which, by the way, if you're new to the channel, and based on my channel metrics, none of you are. That's a little joke there. We're a little flat, but hey, we're still at 1,375 subs on the channel, which makes me happy. Welcome, you guys. But if you're new to the channel, you'll know Fridays, we play a pretty mean game of Gamble World. Well, fun, right? Not mean. We did Call of Cthulhu in October. That was mean. Jimmy Invictus knows what time it is. So anyway, I had to close the PDF on Friday. So I gotta carefully, you know what, is this thing indexed properly? It's not. Or maybe it is. It is. Praise be. All right, let's see. And I should point out, we only have 5 more Mythos to go. The Gamma World campaign is a lot of fun, Jimmy. We only have 5 more Mythos to go, and then we're going to get into planar stuff in Deities and Demigods. So let us take a gander. Let us take a gander. Share screen, share screen, share screen, and share screen at the Japanese Mythos. And as always, we'll just kind of do a quick zoom in so those of you at home who may not have this volume can kind of read along. The beings of this mythos present ideal types who give their worshippers models to live by and grow by. And something else I want to point out, when doing my homework before this section, because I didn't want to be looking at this going, oh, wow, I didn't know that. As far as alignments matching up to deities' behaviors, this is the best mythos as far as being good. I think the worst you get is a lawful neutral deity in here, or no, chaotic neutral deity or 2 in here. But by and large, they're all aligned to some form of good, which I'm a sunny disposition DM. You know, I mean, I throw darkness in there where it's appropriate, but I'm not one of those, you know, everybody roll to save versus disease. You know, this isn't Morkborg, which I think is actually pronounced a shark chalk. It's what I made to understand. But anyway, so this kind of suits me nicely. So let us continue on here. As with one or two of the other mythoi, this allows the true believer to become as one of the gods with enough faith and natural ability. See divine ascension, which, you know, we looked at the beginning. The first religion of Japan was Shintoism, and this faith centers around a deep love and affection for nature. Temples are arranged around trees and gardens. All temples have male and female clerics. There are also 8 million kami, or divine spirits, but none of these have images in the temples. See below. Shrines usually face the south and are sometimes the east, but never the north or west, as they are regarded as unlucky directions. There is also a gateway, torii, to every shrine, and sometimes there are whole clusters of these before the shrine. Holy symbols do not abound in this religion, but there are 3 universal ones. The mirror, associated with Amaterasu Omikami. Guys, there's going to be so many casualties of the Japanese language here, and I apologize. The sword, and a cluster of perfect gemstones. Punishment for transgressions of any type is often through the stripping away of personal ability. A cleric who transgresses against the gods may lose points from abilities like strength or dexterity for slight sins, and spell ability for greater sins, always with the provision that such things can be earned back with greater service. The concept of kami is one that prevails in all of Japanese thought throughout the several faiths of the island. It is sometimes translated to mean divinity or spirit, but is a much more universal idea that is usually left untranslated by those who understand it. All things deserve to be revered and or dreaded for their own sake. The concept is applied to everything, all animals, all plants, seas, mountains, or any natural phenomena. Each of these has its own divine spirit. The larger or more important the place, the greater the kami. If their place is threatened, the kami may actually materialize as a person with druid or illusionist abilities. All right, here we go. I'm only going to try this once. So this is Amaterasu Omikami, goddess of the sun. And a great deal of this art is by oh Lord. Okay, I got to look this up. So I was going to tell you guys who this is real quick. The artist there, because it's not Jeff D. and it's not, it's not Dave Sutherland or Dave Trampier. This is not listed there. Jeff Lanners. That's it. Jeff Lanners. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you as always. Good work. Good stuff. All right. So let's get back to it. Jeff Lanners. Who, unfortunately, I don't really know of any of his art anywhere else in D&D books. So, Amaterasu. Armor class, she's a greater goddess. Armor class -7, move infinite, 400 hit points, damage per attack 1 to 100. She might barely injure your first level magic user. She might annihilate him and his next 5 generations. She is lawful good. She is a 20th level cleric, 14th level druid, 20th level magic user illusionist. She's a goddess, not a fighter. 15th level monk and bard, and she has psionics and all the fun and happy stats. Let's get that centered a little better. One of a trinity with Susanoo and Tsukiyami, of the most powerful of this group of deities. This human-seeming goddess was the mother of her pantheon. Human-seeming. She is able to touch anything and turn it into anything else. Saving throw only applicable to divine beings, and then at a -8. One of her favorite tactics is to change weapons or monsters attacking her into small birds. Her fist does 1 to 100 points of damage per strike if she doesn't feel like polymorphing a being. She radiates continual light like the spell. Aww. Just line up and leave your waifu jokes at the door. Is that all we've got on her? That's all we have on her. Ah, Jim. Probably could have filled a volume just on her. Amasumara, god of blacksmiths, a lesser god. 299 hit points, armor class -4. Chris was here. He'd let you know we could take him. Neutral. He's immune to heat and cold. Damage per attack, 45 points. 50% magic resistance. Worshippers align workers of metal. 10th level cleric, 12th level fighter, 20th level magic user, 8th level bard. This massive human appearing god is able to make any type of magic. Hang on. I was afraid of that. Hang on a second. Any type of magical weapon in a week. He especially likes to make swords and spears that fight for themselves as a sort of dancing. This god can create raw materials out of thin air, use any weapon known on any plane, and become astral or ethereal at will. He favors blacksmiths, and there is a 2% chance that any weapon a blacksmith makes with extremely special care that is dedicated to him, at referee's option, will be made into a +4 weapon by the god. He uses a +4 double-edged axe that is 12 feet long and does 45 points of damage on a hit. It instantly slays any fire-type creature it strikes, saving throw versus death applicable. Daikoku, god of wealth and luck. Lesser god, 350 points. And look at him! He's a jolly fellow. He is lawful good, and his worshippers align as those wishing luck and riches. Symbol 3 coins, that makes sense. 10th level cleric, 14th level druid, 12th level fighter, 12th level magic user, illusionist, 10th level bard. A great set of stats. And we'll get over to his text. He looks like a portly, balding male with an easy grace about him. He is also known as the patron of all farmers, and in this aspect can be prayed to for weather of any type and hope for a good harvest. The god is noted for his good-natured outlook on all things and often uses his powers for the benefit of his clerics and worshippers. This is a good guy. Besides being able to control all types of weather, he has complete control over the growth of plants and natural animal life, making them grow huge or shrink at will. I just think this guy probably just makes like little miniature, like tiny giraffes and just laughs at it for a little while and then makes it back normal size and lets it go. He wanders the prime-material plane in ethereal form, observing his worshippers. Those who sacrifice great amounts of wealth to him at temples will eventually be rewarded by the god, even if it is given to the descendants of the giver. I'll get around to it, don't worry. He fights with a wooden mallet that hits for 20 points of damage. It also shrinks any beings it hits, those that do not make their magic saving throw, to half size. It will permanently negate any miscellaneous magic item used against its master, no saving throw, and will transport its master to a place of safety if the god is in mortal danger or becomes magically enspelled, charm, hold, etc. Which, as far as I know, gods can't be, but I suppose, you know. Ibisu, god of luck through hard work. Also lawful good. Symbol fishing rod or cane staff. Now the fishing rod I can definitely get. 30th level clay. He's not kidding around. 30th level. 10th level paladin, just in case. 25th level magic user. And a 10th level bard. The deity appears as an elderly male and is occasionally found floating over the earth, rewarding those who work hard with bountiful harvests of foodstuffs or extra money for sale of goods. He's probably the guy that put that $20 bill in my winter coat pocket. Yes, we do have winter clothes down here in Florida. He uses a staff of striking in battle that hits for 3 to 30 points of damage. He always makes his saving throw. His luck attribute affects all beings in the same way. Beings attacking the god will only be able to do half damage with any given hit, and they will hit only half the times they normally might have. Every other hit will miss. And there he is, presumably playing chess with someone. I have the faintest idea what that kanji could mean either. Or if it's even valid and not just scribbles. Haichimen, war god. And even the god of war is chaotic good. He is a demigod. 300 hit points. Number of attacks 2, 3 open hand, 4 to 40, or 5 to 20 open hand. With, again, great art by Jeff Lanners there. Great set of stats for him. He is a 20th level ranger, 15th level assassin, 14th level monk. Haichimen has the following abilities. He shape changes at will, is not affected by any spell of the 7th level or less, and is never affected by any type of illusion. The god has a throwing knife that turns into an ancient red dragon when cast in anger at an immortal. If the dragon dies in battle, it returns to dagger form, otherwise being forced to change back into dagger for a 48-hour period after fighting up to 100 melee rounds. He's got a dagger that turns into an ancient red dragon. He's not kidding around. In hand-to-hand combat, he uses his two-handed sword, which only he can lift. It's a +3 weapon that acts as a sword of sharpness and also does 4 to 40 points of damage. Kishi Jotun, goddess of luck. Neutral good, the best good. Symbol is a white diamond. 20th level magic user illusionist, 25th level cleric, 15th level bard. Great stats across the board. Always appears as a human in any situation where she aids in a struggle. She changes shape, always makes her saving throw, and can summon any one of any good creature type to her presence once a month. With this last power, she can summon, amongst other things, a good dragon, a paladin, or a ranger to help her at any time she wills. She's got you on speed dial, paladins. You're hanging out, you're sharpening your sword, you're like, yeah, I'm pretty much king. Hang on a second. Gotta go, y'all. These summoned beings are taken at random from the prime material plane. She doesn't know who will come, and when arriving, they are not under her dominance. They have free will. She never physically takes part in battle, but observes and gives special luck to those she favors at her whim and judge's option. This takes the form of that favored being, making his or her saving throws and striking their enemies with every try. She also occasionally favors beings, not just humans, that take unusual chances, judge's option, in those situations where random chance plays a hand. There's a 2% chance of this happening in any given situation of great risk if she's watching. While the goddess prefers to use magic to attack personal enemies, if pressed hard enough, she will strike them with her gem, doing 2 to 20 points. Duncan Todd says, cold in Florida sometimes. Now, I'm going to tell you, back in 89, I remember back in 89, it was just a little bit before Christmas, and my buddy Jason and I, he had a house on a lake here. We were going to dinner, so we went over to his house, we hung out, we did some stuff on computer. He had an Amiga 500. And then we split. We departed. We vamoosed. We get outside, and I'm not kidding you, snow in the corners of his car windshield. I'm not making that up. Here in Florida. Okuni Nushi, the Great Landmaster. Chaotic Good, 200 hit points, demigod. Now, he only has a wisdom of 10, which is interesting. This god always appears human, and in his aspect as a landmaster, he is able to converse with all natural creatures, heal them, and make them grow young or old at will. The very ground speaks to him and tells him who has passed or what is hidden underneath. He wields a great red two-handed sword that strikes for 3 to 30 points of damage. Oh, and he's an 18th level fighter. That's all he's got. And 10th level monk and bard. He encourages worshippers to actively seek heroic quests which they may attempt. Clerics of him must attempt a heroic existence. These mortals travel the earth preaching a doctrine of the usefulness of bravery and courage to all walks of life. They may only rise to the next level if they have committed a heroic act of their own initiative. DM's discretion. Lower Alabama is just the northern Florida panhandle, Luther. So let's see. Raiden. Whether you like the coin-op game or Mortal Kombat, which is also a coin-op game, you're going to know this guy's name. Raiden, God of Thunder and Patron of Fletchers. Greater God. Armor class -8, 337 hit points. Damage per attack, 2 to 20 plus 12, or 2 to 24, 2 to 24. A great set of stats, has dark, roughened, scaled skin with hands that end in talons that are capable of striking for 2 to 24 points of damage. He also has a beard, pointed eyebrows and ears, heavily muscled arms and legs, and a large round belly. I like that. Raiden, Storm God, Dad bod. At will, he can shape change, cast 25-point lightning bolts as far as he can see, and create any type of weather. On rare occasions, he will aid his mortal worshippers with their undertakings. In battle, he uses a +3 jet black mace that strikes for 2 to 20 points of damage each time it hits, and disenchants other magical weapons and armor it comes in contact with, no saving throw. He wears +3 black splint mail and uses a +4 enchanted shield that prevents the success of any single weapon's attack in any given melee round, with the most powerful weapon being stopped in the case of more than one strike attempt against the deity. Mods, Raiden OP, please nerf. When Raiden battles, a windstorm always rages around him that does not allow missile weapons of any type to touch him. The god also has a shadowy aura about his body at times when he is not wearing armor or using a shield that negates the effect of any 8th or lower level magic user spells. Besides his mace, Raiden uses a set of double-strength drums of panic. These will only affect the enemies of the god's allies. In his aspect as patron of Fletchers, the god will grant to every worshipper who designs arrows the ability in his or her lifetime to make 10 arrows of slaying mortals. These shafts will not display their power or be detectable as magical. This may occur when a Fletcher takes extremely special care with the crafting of an arrow. Even the creator will not know these arrows for what they are. The maker will only prize them for the effort he or she put into them. The referee will know, however. I love the Japanese mythos. And I'm not even that much of a weeb, guys. Now you might think, uh-oh, I'm seeing this guy. We're coming into some evil deities, right? Raiko, hero, armor class -1, 180 hit points. We can take him. Neutral good, 18th level ranger, 12th level assassin. There's that Deities Demigods oddness, right? 15th level monk. Raiko, favorite of the gods, is a fighter of enchanted monsters. And for his many victories over giants, demons, the undead, and other ghastly things, he has been given greater endurance, thus has increased hit points, and has achieved a speed movement that is quite unhuman, thus has greater dexterity. His weapons are the longbow and sword. With his arrows, he can achieve twice the distance and damage of normal longbowmen, and his sword is said to be swifter than the striking serpent. Reiko is known to some as Yorimitsu. Susanoo, storm god and lord of the seas. Chaotic neutral, the worst. Jack Burton. Well, I mean, that's fair, but come on, you know. Hey, here's one for the armor enthusiast. Jack Burton in a Bob Simple tank. Of course, that's just too OP. You might as well say Jack Burton in a Death Star, right? He is chaotic neutral, 400 hit points. Worshippers alignment is chaotic, so they could be good or evil or neutral like him. His symbol is the katana. A large bearded oriental with long flowing black hair, this deity can often be found riding a thundercloud. He casts lightning bolts, doing 30 points of damage per strike anytime he wills. He shape changes at wills, can summon anytime 1 to 10 air or water elementals to do his bidding, and he can take away the power of flight from any being for up to a week. No saving throw. He wears yellow +4 splint mail into battle, which emits blasts of heat once per round, doing 20 points of damage to all within 10 feet of the god. No saving throw. Yeah, looks like me the other week when I got mad. Maybe. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't get angry. He uses a +4 yellow sword that strikes for 3 to 30 points of damage with every hit, and if the weapon misses his enemy in any given melee round, the next closest enemy will be hit. While the god is in the water, he has 100% magic resistance, and all nearby creatures of the sea will throw themselves in front of him so that they are hit instead of the god. Moving on up. We have the Moon God, Tsukiyomi. Armor class, -7. He's a greater god, by the way. Hit points, 400. Alignment, neutral good. Again, the best good. He is a 20th level cleric, 12th level ranger, 15th level magic user, illusionist, 15th level assassin, 10th level bard, and a great array of stats. Just a couple that are less than 25. This god has light blue skin, but otherwise appears to be a massively built human male. At will, the god can shape change and summon any type of flying creature up to 5 times a day. He also has the ability to summon any object he sees to his hand. I'll take that now. Magic saving throw applicable, so that enemies' weapons and the like can be taken away from them. He uses a +4 pike in battle that strikes for 40 points of damage with every hit and cannot be broken by any force on the prime material plane. The weapon also makes the god immune to poison, petrification, and magic jar attacks. Yamamoto Date, hero. Armor class 2, 189 hit points. Lawful good, 15th level paladin. Yeah, he knows what time it is. Get on with it. Yes, sir. This hero, son of an emperor, is renowned for his ability as a fighter. Fighter-schmiter, guy's a paladin. And loyalty to his emperor father. Many tales exist of his cunning and skill in disguise. He has the disguise skill of an 11th level assassin. He's known for his awesome speed and ability with blade. He has a magic sword that is both a dragon slaying blade and sword of sharpness. And I got to zoom out and show you guys this because this is absolutely gorgeous. This is Jim Rosseloff's work. And it kind of plays off a little bit of Dave Trampier's beautiful dragon tortoise in the Monster Manual, of course. This is just... oh my gosh, this is so lovely. What would it take to be that kind of moon god? I don't know. I can't show it on the program. All right. So we have Yoshi, hero, 109 hit points, weak sauce, Yoshi. He's neutral good, 13th level ranger, 5th level monk bard. This warrior holds the war guard Haichimen as his patron, and his prayers for aid are occasionally answered personally by the god. He is a mighty fighter with any type of weapon, but his bow skills are legendary. His arrows are so powerfully launched that they can reputedly pierce rocks, and so skillfully aimed that they do greater than normal damage with every hit. And that is it. That is it. Those are the Japanese myths. Now, I know you guys want to get here. Let me remove that. I know you guys want to get to the Melniboné myths, and we will. But I want to fully drink those in. I want to give a maximum amount of time to those to talk about what they are. Maybe if you don't know, if you haven't been following along, maybe you might not understand why they're so darn hard to find. That is, copies of Deities and Demigods at a decent price that have those myths in them. We'll discuss all of that stuff. We will discuss all of that stuff at the appropriate time. But I want to give a full stage to it. I don't want to bring it in when there's, really 20 minutes of show left. So we'll talk a little bit in the now about what's going on this week. There's another hurricane about to hit Florida. It's going to come in south of us. All you folks between, I guess, Melbourne and Fort Lauderdale, really, you have nothing but my sympathies. And we're all Floridians, and we're all kind of in this together. And then it's going to kind of cut out of Florida just north of where Ian hit. But by then it will be down to tropical storm level, which is only 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. Then it's going to go out over the Gulf and swing back into Florida, well north of us on the East Coast in kind of the Big Bend area of Florida, and then scoot up the interior of the East Coast for a while. So, Todd, I'm getting to that. That is actually the next thing I was going to discuss. I only ended up getting 2 entries for the Dead Rat Stew contest. I keep getting put back, but this week, probably on Friday, I will announce the winner of Dead Rat Stew recipe entry. So, the next thing, tomorrow is the last day I'm going to offer the Owlbear minis. There's still 3 reservations available for the Owlbear trio, $45. You get 3 large Owlbear miniatures. I've shown the pictures of them before. You can shoot me an email to my email address, bsylvia@gmail.com, and put Owlbear reservation in the subject. And if you want one, if between now and tomorrow night I get 3, we go to production, I print them up, etc., and then take payments for them and ship them out. If we don't, we'll just skip that and we'll go to the next. We'll go on to the next set of minis offering, which is going to be, and I don't have any prototyped up yet. Printer vomited on me last night, so I got to clean it up and get it going again. I won't forget to plug the Discord, Todd. We will go to Warduke. I'm offering a 2-set print run of Warduke, $20, 2 miniatures in 32 millimeter, standard tabletop gaming size these days. But anyway, so Todd won't natter me. We do have a Discord, and you can join us right over here. In the Discord if you want to. But what you could really do, what would really help out a lot, is if you like the video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you're just stopping by, please subscribe to the channel, because it's fun. I do this sort of thing all the time, and it's not just about Dungeons and Dragons. I know we've been on a D&D kick for a long time with module deep dives. Now we're doing a rule book deep dive, because this is a book not a lot of people get a chance to see. Thank you, Volcano God. Volcano God's throwing down the gauntlet. Anyone who makes a super chat, Volcano God says he'll double it. He dares you. He double dog dares you with an F-bomb. So it's serious. But anyway, please subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications, so you find out when we're doing this. And it helps the engagement, because the more you subscribe and the more you watch, the more YouTube thinks you want to watch. And the more YouTube thinks you want to watch, the more it thinks it's your show. And the more people see it. And the more people see it, the more will subscribe. And the more it'll think the people want to watch. And the more it'll promote it. And then he tells 2 friends, and he tells 2 friends, and he tells 2 friends. So tomorrow night, we get started on the Melniboné myths. Then, oh my gosh, Doomsword accepts the challenge. Challenge accepted, Volcano God. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was really Tress awesome. That means 3 awesome. So, Bob Johnny says the horse looks more like a dog. I think he's talking about over here. There's nothing here, guys. Blank strike team with 4 to 8 orcs in a covered wagon, truncheons, nets, ropes, and a hapless subject. That's a lot of printing. That's a lot of stuff. That is a bunch of minis to print up. But anyway, so after we talk Melniboné and myths in Deities and Demigods tomorrow night, we play first edition AD&D. And we'll do that. It will be a live stream of playing first edition AD&D. We'll find out what our characters have been up to. And then Wednesday, oh my Lord. Oh, wow. That is the largest super chat I have ever gotten. Oh my gosh, Volcano, my friend. Wow. Now here's the question. Do you now have to double that, Volcano God? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So thank you so much. And not even a question or a special message either. Oh my God, dude, if I could hug you over standard TCP/IP, I would. I really, guys, I've got like the best audience in the world. He went Pompeii on this super chat. I tell you what, Dungeon Minister, there are Nick Ricada, Mr. Unbreaded himself. Nick Ricada, I haven't done this, but I've watched his super chats. I've seen people send him like a $500 super chat before. Not like constantly. My God, thank you so much, Volcano God. That is, bro, I don't even know what to say. Dude is seeing it right now. Dude is well, I wouldn't say I'm shitting myself, but I will say that is a really means a lot to me. Means a lot to me, dude. And when you join the Tuesday night game, which I'm assuming you're going to do, you may have just bought yourself some karma. May have just bought yourself some positive karma. We'll have to see. So Wednesday night, hopefully Kyle will be feeling much better, and then we can jump back to playing some classic Traveler. But if not, more Mythos. And then for Thursday, more Mythos. And then Friday, if we're not out of Deities Demigods, we should probably wrap up Deities and Demigods, at least the myths sections, on Friday. Because the stuff on the planes and so forth and etc. that's kind of big brain stuff. So we'll look at that. we'll see all that kind of come together. Well, thank you, VG. Yeah, it like causes me physical distress that Volcano God is no longer down here to go eat wings with, and swim and like get together physically and go to game stores and stuff. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more. Luther don't want my singing, no, never, no more. There you go. Well, I've been a wild DM for many a year, and I spent all my money on minis and beer. Going all rovers, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a place up near us, Wing House. Me and Volcano God used to hit on the regular, despite the good wings, good wings there. But I was really, they have a blacksmith burger there. It was really, really tasty. And Volcano would your jam was garlic wings, wasn't it, Volcano? Which were also very good. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Well, I had a little drink about an hour ago, and it ran straight through my head. Boom, boom. Wherever I may roam, by ship or sea or foam, it doesn't even matter to me. Just show me the way to go home. That's right. You guys want me to... Luther, if you want me to stop, you're going to have to super chat. Luther's like, please. Well, I'm going to be flooded soon in like 36 hours. So it may wash a shark ashore that will come and eat me. So you never know. You never know. And by the way, I just want to point something out. Volcano God is a good man too, and it doesn't have anything to do with a $99 super chat. All right. Just saying. Hashtag just saying. You have to put super chat. Sharknado. Florida Sharknado. Flarknado. See if I can make that. I should headbang to the song Pyroclastic Annihilation. I don't know. I'm in an age where a song that has Pyroclastic Annihilation in the title, I automatically think I need to see my doctor about that. Well, that just kind of knocked me off my bean, guys. I don't even... Flarknado. There was a picture. Somebody actually ran a tabletop RPG. You know, I don't find this because this is what it's going to be in Florida soon, anyway. So, oh my gosh, they actually have one you can buy. Oh wow. Okay, so Apparently someone on Etsy sells, look at this. See if we can get this to, yes, that is a 3D printed Sharknado. If we could if I could modify that and put like some Mickey Mouse ears and like a sign that says I4 or something like that, I could make it a Flarknado. If they're selling the STL, I'll have to look into it. Am I gonna have to break out the sandbags? I gotta be honest with you, probably not, because of where it's going. Oh shit, I might as well show you guys this too. So here we go. And let's see, let's forecast line on, and let's open image in new tab. All right. I'm only doing this because you guys asked. No, I could get away with printing that A-Wig, I think. Might have to do it in pieces. Look out, I'm Jim Cantor. Okay, so where it's hitting is about, see, I'm up here. If you see the tip of the mouse, I'm over here. Where it's hitting Thursday morning is right around just kind of northish of Fort Lauderdale. It'll still be well south of me by Thursday afternoon. And then it's going to hook back around. So I'm kind of sitting in the knuckle right here of where it's looping around to. Yes, Fort Pierce, A-Wig. That's about where it's going to be. So we're going to get a lot of rain and a little bit of wind. I probably won't break out the sandbags unless this thing like shifts in a major way, which it still might. It still might. We still might be boned. A weatherman mini that I can use as a voodoo doll when the weather looks bad. Yeah, but I mean, he'd be printed out of phenolic resin. The pins wouldn't stick in him. Besides, our weathermen typically are the ones who, you know, keep us informed of things. So that is that's what's coming right at me, so to speak. I just hope it kind of keeps in that direction and it doesn't like come ashore and then turn sharply north. Really didn't need this. Really did not need this. But anyway, so that is what's going on later in the week. Why would autocorrect weatherman to West Herman? Is there a word West Herman? Somebody look that up. So anyway, this is just kind of part and parcel. This is what I got to deal with. And you know, I'll either be here or I won't. But Friday, I will announce the winner of Dead Rat Stew, because that may be what we're eating, depending on what this thing does. And then we'll play Gamma World Friday night after we deep dive some Deities and Demigods. So that's what's going on. That's the rest of the week. And then first of the week, we start all over again. But in the immediate, tomorrow is the last call to try and close out the Owl Bears. So 3 orders, it's $45. You get 3 miniatures, 3 nice, chunky miniatures. You get the Chinosaur Owlbear, you get the Monster Manual Owlbear, and you get the Supplement 1 Greyhawk Owlbear. All resin printed, ready for printing. I'll be here or I won't. It's not. Yeah, it's kind of is what it is, right? I am the Yogi Berra of online D&D commentary. By the way, my Halloween live stream got demonetized. I don't know what I could have done. Screaming the F word directly into the camera, maybe. Oh my gosh, my brain is kind of scrambled because I was not expecting a super like that tonight. I really wasn't. That quantum variability here. What, Vince? What? You can't just run in and say what? Oh, you're talking about the getting demonetized on the Halloween live stream? Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? So let me ask you guys this in the last few minutes I've got. I want y'all to think about this. If you've the demonetization. Just if I say curse words that are too easily picked up by the AI, it's like, well, no, nobody's going to want to run ads on that. So we're going to tune down your ability to make money on a little bit. That's all I mean. But anyway, in the last few minutes here, and I always hate to go like when I built up a good head of steam, but I gotta get ready for tonight's AD&D. I'm back in the saddle after many weeks of not DMing. The Monday night game, which has 10 players in it. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. But just food for thought, and you can tell me this in the Discord. You can leave me comments under the video. Actually, I would like comments under the video. I would like engagement under the video if you could. What do you want to see more of? I plan on doing pre-recorded videos, D&D Tales of Glory. So I want to create some kind of repository where people can come and post me their stories of, here is an incredibly awesome thing that happened in my AD&D game. Because YouTube has many prominent YouTubers, well, for tabletop role-playing games, prominent, who talk about cringe and disasters and horror stories. And the fact is, they all repeat each other. You're going to hear the same story 5 times because they all go straight to Reddit and then just sit there and read Reddit posts and offer a little bit of snark between them. They're good at what they do. It's a good grift. Don't get me wrong. Don't misunderstand me. But I want something different. Positivity instead of negativity. I want to read the positive stories. So for right now, email them to me. Leave them down in the comments underneath videos. Leave them in the community we have here on YouTube. Put them in the Discord. Catch me on Facebook and send them to me there. Don't send them to me on Twitter because you'd have to break them up into little chunks and you're going to run out of room. I did acknowledge Doomsword's super chat. I sure did. Did you miss it? I promise I acknowledged it. I did acknowledge it. I promise you. Doomsword sent me 35. And Doomsword is an awesome guy. There are no prominent D&D YouTubers. Well, but anyway, the point is, look, you've all been there, all right? You've all been in those games where, you know, you had a guy who had never played D&D before, and it turns out that he was a rock star at it. Or, you know, you were set to run an event, nobody showed up for it, and the one person who did show up for it went around the venue recruiting people, and the next thing you know, bam, you got 8-10 people at your table. Stuff like that. Stories like that are what we need more of. Not, you know, I had to punch a guy because his paladin was being a dick. 30 minutes later, wow, that really was a story. And again, it's a good grift, but it's theirs. And I want mine to be different. I want mine to be positive and uplifting. I've got some stories. I may prime the pump and tell you guys some of my own stories, but they'll be pre-recorded videos. They won't be in live streams. Because that's what I'd like to see. That's what I'd like to see more of. So think about that. Think about stuff that you guys... Yeah, no, you can just save that for the other folks. So, and especially, look, I got to tell you what, I don't care if it's Legend of Five Rings, 6th edition hero system, Exalted. These don't have to be D&D specific. Quite the contrary. I just want good, positive role-playing stories because this should be a positive hobby. All right? When I was talking about, you know, being an adversarial DM, I don't have any animus or hatred towards the people that I DM in my games. Oh, I cackle with glee as I roll higher initiative than them, or, you know, smack their characters around a little bit. But the punchline is, I want them to succeed. All right? I want good times, not bad times. So let's focus on that. So, you know, like I said, reach out to me on whatever social media. If you want to reach out to me on Twitter and throw it in a DM or something like that, that's cool too. Luther, stop it. Am I sure? Hey, Gamma World doesn't count. You guys know as well as I do that stuff's just comic relief. Anyway, look, that's all I have for you guys this evening. I hope you enjoyed the Japanese Mythos readings. I have nothing but praise and thanks. Knee bent. Just mad respect for Doomsword and for Volcano God. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. So much for kicking in like that. That was just awesome. So I appreciate everyone who kind of came in. You can go all the way back to the beginning and watch it from the start. And I had a super chat challenge. I was actually going to throw down a gauntlet for a super chat challenge, but I'll save it for tomorrow night. I'll save it for. I think you guys will think it's funny. I do. I know I do. But anyhow, Listen, I love you all. I really do. I mean that. Super chat, don't super chat, whatever. I really do. If you don't want to super chat, if you're like, oh, I got to navigate all these minefields and stuff, you can support the show on Patreon. You can support the show on Subscribestar. You can PayPal direct, or you can buy me a coffee. You can buy me a coffee. And there are some folks who've chosen to do that. So let me take a quick minute to thank them before we go. So big thanks to Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien247, James F. Keck, William Smith, The Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall. We miss you, Manny. Where are you? Mark Corey, Kevin Wood, Todd Sharp, Carnivore Farmer, Rob, Jeremy Rule, Bo Ganora, Mikey Mank, Sky Hernstrom, that guy, Pete Sullivan, the DM's Council, and Baron Von Headbanger. Have a lovely Monday night, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.